Welcome to the Dawg House podcast. Brand new guest, Ryan Gibson. Connected with him on Instagram. We talk about, can Gunner Stockton get invited to New York and be a Heisman Trophy candidate this year? And love him or hate him, Ryan gives his thoughts on Mike Bobo. This should be an interesting conversation. Make sure to like and subscribe. Dawg House podcast is back. Great new guest. We connected on Instagram. Ryan Gibson, diehard Georgia fan like I am. How are we doing today?
Try not to melt in the heat out here, but other than that, doing good.
Yeah, man, it's hot here in the North Carolina area as well. It's warming up. I believe spring, summer is here. First question I wanted to ask you, Ryan, what made you a Georgia fan?
Basically, as a kid, I grew up in a family that was all Clemson Tiger fans. My grandmother was a big Clemson fan, and because she was from Florida, she was a Florida fan. I hated Florida like nobody's business. But the thing is like when I was a kid, it was Clemson because everybody's like, oh, well, you want to be with your friend, your family team. But it always seemed like the game my parents would want us to go to at Clemson was always the Georgia game. And I always loved the red and black. It always resonated with me with Lindsey Scott and Herschel Walker and those types of players, the Buck Belue players. And then as the years went, it just basically resonated more, and I went away from the Clemson type and just kind of went out on my own as a Georgia fan, went in the Navy, and then came back and used credits at the University of Georgia. So I wish they would have told me some of those credits didn't work, but
right.
They kind of lied to you on those. But yeah, so and then since then it's just been, I got a French bulldog, named him Herschel because my middle name's Walker, so Herschel Walker just made sense.
Yeah.
And now I've got my mom's bulldog is Rubble, and he's a full-fledged English bulldog. So they're trying to make him a Clemson fan, but yeah, I've already claimed the Georgia part to him.
That's awesome, man. Love hearing that. Keeping it outside the family, but bringing all the dogs in. I love that. Yeah, first question, a little off-season talk here. I always like asking it. So this can be player or coach, but what is your Georgia Bulldog all-time Mount Rushmore?
See, with that one, it's hard to do because it's hard to pick 4 players or a coach. So for me, I never want to add a coach, just solely because a coach, I guess for Mount Rushmore, that would be their own. So for me, as far as players, it'd be Frank Sinkwich, number 1, Herschel Walker, number 2. I know I'm going to catch hell for it. Fran Tarkenton.
Okay.
And then the other, it just has to be Stetson Bennett. Yep. Just solely and yes, that's the one I'll probably catch hell for, is Tarkenton and Stetson. But Tarkenton completely changed the course of the quarterback position by being a guy that can run. Sinkwich was the first one that kind of played quarterback / halfback. Tarkenton made it into more of a mobile quarterback type of thing. And Stetson Bennett he's that, for me, is like, and not to go too far off topic, but for me as a Bayern Munich fan, which is a German soccer team, Thomas Muller is our Stetson Bennett. He's the guy that when you look at him, he bleeds what the university and what the team and fans are. So Stetson is that version. He breathes, eats Georgia, and he is that quintessential Georgia player. Plus, he's got back-to-back national titles, so he automatically goes on there for that. So I've got the 2 Heisman winners. I've got the back-to-back national title guy, and then Fran Tarkenton just because he revolutionized a position in his own right. So
I like it. You went back with the pioneers, and they built Georgia up what they were. So I like that.
Yeah, because Frank Sinkwich and Charlie Trippy are like one and the same. It's just Sinkwich is the guy that did a lot more, winning the Heisman Trophy and all of that kind of stuff. So Trippy would be like that right at that edge, and Sapp would be as well. So I mean, essentially, you could probably say everybody that's in the Ring of Honor, or that have a retired jersey, because there's only those 4 guys that have the retired jerseys. So they retired them for a reason.
There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little. I'll go a little younger and give mine. Mine's gonna be a little different. So I'll definitely go Herschel. He's the GOAT. Put everybody on the map. Everybody knows Georgia football. He made it what it was. I'm gonna go Stetson Bennett. Anytime you win 2 national titles, walk on. They need to put a statue up eventually. Can't go without it. I'm gonna go just because he was a freaky freak. Wish we would have had him full 3 seasons, even though he played. Brock Bowers, and then I'm gonna go with Coach. Gotta go Kirby Smart, 2 national titles, the best. Vince Lee was great, set the tone. And if I guess I had to throw a 4th, I'm gonna go one of my favorite players just because I watched him and he's got statistically one of the best. I like Nick Chubb too. Throw another run back in there. Probably for all defensive guys out there.
Mine was quarterback heavy, but
yeah.
That's why it's always, if you do a Mount Rushmore, you've got to have a coaching one, an offensive one, and a defensive one, especially if you do it for the, I guess, American football way. Yeah. You have to have different ones. Because, I mean, you even look at what do you do with somebody like Rodrigo Blankenship or those types of guys? Because they're never going to be the guy that overrides Greg Blue or a David Pollock or something. They're never going to get that. But the thing is those types of guys are some of the greatest in their own right. They're just kickers. So
if you had to throw a defensive guy in there, you might have just mentioned him. Who would you pick? If you had maybe one. Mount Rushmore. Oh, yep. Really good, especially after in his career, 13, 14-year All-Pro or Pro Bowler. Mm. Awesome.
And I mean, and the thing is he could play everywhere, and that's why, like, with him on the defensive side and a Hines Ward on the offensive side, they'll never be classified. Well, Champ more than likely on the defensive side, but if you look at a Hines Ward, he's never going to be on that Mount Rushmore because he never really did one thing exceptionally. Mm-hmm. He did everything exceptionally. But if you compare him to an AJ Green, Muhammad Massaquoi, Lindsey Scott, he's not the best receiver, but he's kind of like a Dylan Bell. He's a Swiss Army knife that you can do anything with. And when Hines Ward went to the NFL, he proved that he can do any and everything. So, but yeah, Champ Bailey would be the one automatic.
I like that. Yeah, just getting the ball, athlete, football player. Just he's got his hands with the ball. He can be dangerous. I agree.
And I mean, now my question to you: sure. The most underrated player that every Georgia fan should know, but probably doesn't know. I've already got mine. I know mine. I love that kid. Well, now he's not a kid anymore. He's a grown man now, but love that guy to death.
I'm just gonna throw it underrated just by his stats, and then I know he always got bashed a lot because he'd maybe throw some picks in games, but I think he ended up going 3-1 against Florida because, as we know, before Kirby's dominance, anytime he beat Florida was great. But I don't know. I was maybe kind of feel like he didn't get enough respect like Aaron Murray. 3-1 against him. Really good yards, kind of under the radar. Maybe
I mean, he is
Stafford, even though Stafford's probably the best. Like, of course,
I mean, Aaron Murray does have the most passing yards in SEC history. So yeah. I mean, what I was thinking more along the lines is like a Brendan Douglas.
Okay, yeah.
The guy that nobody really cared about because he played with the Keith Marshalls, the Todd Gurleys.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things that if you handed Brendan Douglas the ball, nobody expected him to do anything with it. But the first time he touched the ball, he ran, I want to say 17 or 22 yards for a first down. And everybody's like, oh, my God, where did this kid come from? But he was just like that battering ram, that
he was
the bigger Cash Jones type player.
Yep.
That's why I was like underrated. Yeah, nobody's going to know who Brendan Douglas is off the top of their head. So
that's good. That's a good one. Also, Gus the Kid, Aquinas, little small high Catholic school, coming out of there.
Is that where he came from?
Yeah, did. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Aquinas, yeah, he played there. Let's see. All right, how about Gunner had a good year last year, top 10. Can Gunner Stockton get invited to New York and be a Heisman Trophy candidate this year?
No. Okay. It's going to be Gunner's going to fall into the Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, I guess quandary is what you can kind of call it. And I think that's what's going to I have a feeling Nate Frazier is going to be that front runner outside of, like, say, a Trinidad Chambliss, the little goofy ass kid from Texas that everybody swears up and down is good, but he's like the moron of the family. Yeah, he's the piece of shit of that entire family.
Okay.
But basically, he's going to be a front runner. Then you have like a Dante Moore and those guys. All of those will be front runners at the beginning of the season. Once Chambliss gets smacked in the face a few times, he'll fall out. But I think Nate's going to be that guy that is our front runner. And hopefully Gunner understands that and Kirby understands that, even though he has a 20-headed monster at running back this year.
Mm-hmm.
That he stops with the let's rotate 5 guys. You've got a Heisman Trophy level running back. Let him tote the rock. Let him do what he does. Get him into a rhythm. He'll stop dropping the flipping ball if he finally gets into a rhythm. But that's going to take away from Gunner. And my biggest worry, I said it to Randy from How About Them Dogs podcast when I saw him in person. Straight up, Gunner, get on the damn ground.
Yeah,
agree. If he does what he did towards the middle to end of last year, he's not going to make it a full season.
I agree. Yep.
He's on borderline CTE watch as it is. So I mean, the thing is stop taking the hits. Nate's built to take the hits. Chauncey's built to take the hits. Lawson is. Let those guys take the hits. If you need to do like Stetson did, if you have the opportunity to scramble for 5 yards, slide. Gunner, we get it. You're a strong country boy, but if you ever want to see an NFL training camp or remember your name in 5 years, you gotta you gotta slide. Yep. So that's another issue that I think that Gunner is going to have to be able to do. And we didn't get to see it a lot at G-Day. Gunner reading a downfield pass, or Bobo allowing him to throw a downfield pass. If he can't, if he lives in the mid to short range passing, the Heisman voters aren't going to care. Yeah. He could set an NCAA record for most completed passes, most touchdown passes. I mean, Scovey, White, Helton can only do so much, you know what I'm saying, replicating what the type of player Zachariah Branch was. Mm-hmm. But that's why I would still say Nate's going to be the guy that, if from anybody at Georgia that goes to New York, it'll be Nate.
I agree with that with Nate. I just hope he can stay healthy. He's been a little banged up a little bit at times, but he's definitely explosive. I do like it. And I agree with that with Gunner. He's got to slide more, be more conservative. Also, can he make that medium to intermediate throws like what you were saying? Slant pat in 15 to 20 down the field and not just do bubble screens. And that's going to be my next question rolling that. I know he's controversial. You either hate him or you love him. Thoughts on Mike Bobo at OC? Don't don't hold back if you're a hater.
No, at points in games, yes, I'll be a hater. I'll cuss that. Sorry for my.
No, you're good.
I'll cuss that fucker out all game.
Amen.
But after the game, when you look at it, look at the stats and that type of stuff. Right now, we don't truly have a team that can run bubble screens all damn day. We're not built for it. Scovey White Hilton can do it, but the thing is he hasn't been able to show it yet. Zachariah Branch, that's what he does. He's going to do it masterfully, and the Falcons are going to start running bubble screens for that specific reason. But the thing is when you've got a Talon Taylor, you got a Blackshear, you've got a Caden Prothrow, you've got an Isaiah Canyon, you've got guys that can stretch the damn field, not one here, one there. But the thing is you're going to have to get Gunner comfortable with throwing those deep balls. So, yes, you're going to start out with some bubble screens to Scovey White Hilton. Then you're going to move it out a little farther, some Lawson Lucky, some Elias Williams kind of outs. Then, as we saw at G-Day, you've got Caden Prothrow who can run the in route, 6'6" to 25-ish.
Right.
So, I mean, he's already a big slot receiver as it is. Let him run some, and yes, he's still a young kid, but let him run the quote-unquote suicide routes. He's a big kid. Ethan Barbar, however that's pronounced. Depends on which Georgia fan you talk to. Let him and Prothrow run those suicide routes. Don't get Talon Taylor killed. Don't get Blackshear killed or Isaiah Canyon. Those 10, 15-yard inward going routes. You've got a 6'6", and I think Barber is 6'4", 6'5"-ish. Yeah. Both him and Prothrow are built. Let them run across the middle. Linebackers, nickel corners, those types, they're not going to be able to guard them. They're too small. Yeah. Linebackers going to be too slow. Corners too short. Just make it so you're earning Gunner that confidence going down the field. Is it going to be a Todd Monken type offense? Hell no. Would we look like an ungodly force if we had that offense? Sure. But the thing is you've also what fans also have to look at is Mike Bobo played at Georgia. If you look at how Mike Bobo played, it's the same shit that he coaches. Yeah. He did the short outs, the quick in routes down the field here or there, but it was never really, fling it all over the place type stuff. But I think one of the biggest issues with him is, and they can say it in the press conference all they want. You look at it in the play calling. I don't think they still have 100% butterfly feelings when Gunner goes back and looks downfield. Right. So I think that they're not confident in Gunner being able to. They're confident he can throw it that far, but are they confident with it being accurate at that range? Because in high school we know he can do it. Right. It's just that thing. I think if he gets confident with Gunner finally understands he's a quarterback and not a tank. Mm-hmm. Then you can kind of run that through. Because, you can also see when we put in Puglisi, just for those little appearances here and there, he'd rack back and fire it. He'd throw it 20, 25, 30 yards down the field. He didn't care. Yeah. Gunner's more methodical with it. So I think Bobo's trying to be more methodical with Gunner because Gunner just wants to move the ball, doesn't have to do it all at once. Mm-hmm. So it's just that give and take, and fans want to see the 2021, 2022 type offense, but it ain't the same guy in either position. So, but yeah, fans cuss that fucker out during the game. Just drop it. If we beat the brakes off of somebody, just drop it.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I
Because
agree. Love it.
we're a lot better now than, and well, okay, I'm not gonna say a lot better now. We're a more complete team this year than we were last year.
Yeah.
All the way around.